I feel like so many of us avoid spending time alone because we're afraid to sit with our own thoughts and feelings because it feels uncomfortable and somehow unnatural. And I can definitely relate. And many people think that being alone means being lonely, but that is not necessarily true because when you're alone, you're always with yourself. You can sit in silence and get clear on what you truly want without being influenced by the outside world. And you can feel extremely lonely when you're surrounded by the wrong people. People who don't have your best interest at heart, people who neglect your feelings. The truth, darling, is that we all need to get into the habit of spending some time alone because it is beneficial to our mental and even physical health. Human interactions can often be exhausting and drain our energy, and we all need some time to recharge and reset. And one of the best ways to do that is to spend time alone. I know that too many of us are so used to keep distracting ourselves by using our phones all the time, by watching TV, by constantly being around people. Especially if you're an extrovert, you know what I'm talking about. But oftentimes, we find ourselves in unhealthy situations. We find ourselves in toxic friendships and relationships. Unfortunately, many friendships and relationships are transactional. People stay by your side for their own benefit. They stay because of the things they can get from you. You know, I have been a part of wrong types of friendships and relationships in the past where I found myself just giving and giving but never receiving. And the thing is, I still love to give. But if I give you once and if I give you twice, then I would expect to receive something too. If I see that I'm always the one calling you first, if I'm always the one reaching out first, and you never look for me, but only whenever you need something from me, then I'll see that you don't care about me. You never ask me how am I doing, you never ask me how my life is going. You're just there for the taking. Well, I don't need that anymore. I've got my portion of toxic friendships and relationships in the past. And I don't want to be a part of one sided friendships and one sided relationships anymore. If you don't reciprocate my efforts, if you don't reciprocate my feelings, then I'm out. I'm out. Because my time and my energy is precious. And I have no more time and no more energy to spare on the wrong relationships, on the wrong friendships, communicating with people who just want to take advantage of me. But whenever I need something, whenever I need support, they are never there. It is so sad that so many people stay in the wrong friendships, so many people stay in the wrong relationships. Especially when we talk about women, so many women stay in unhealthy relationships because they fear being alone. As if being alone means you're not good enough. As if being alone means you're not worthy. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not true. You are enough today. You are worthy by yourself. You don't need external validation to tell you that you're good enough. Maybe you don't need to stay in that relationship where you feel disrespected and hurt on a regular basis. Maybe it is not a new relationship that you need. Maybe you just need to spend some time alone. Instead of seeking validation from the outside world, start seeking validation within yourself. Turn inwards. Ask yourself, what is that you truly want? What is that you truly need? Is your current relationship aligned with your values? Is your current relationship give you what you need? Or you're just staying there because you don't want to spend time alone? Be honest with yourself. I know it's not easy, but if you learn to be honest with yourself, you will become much happier in life. I promise you that. The times that I spend by myself, the times that I've spent alone, are some of the times where I grew so much. where I was able to rediscover myself and my goals. And I became so much stronger rather than always depending on somebody else to make me feel happier, to make me feel better about who I am. Of course, you can grow a lot in a healthy relationship or in a healthy friendship, but you can also grow by yourself when you do the work, when you work on your mindset, when you work on your physical and mental health. This really helps you to get closer to that version of you that you want to be. You don't need people for that. It is great to be around people, but you should also allow yourself to distance yourself from certain situations or interactions whenever you get to feel overwhelmed or lost, whenever you need to reset or recharge. It is your very right to isolate yourself from time to time if you need that. I know there is this common misconception that being alone means isolating yourself from the world forever, but that is not true. Being alone does not mean cutting off your social life or avoiding relationships. Being alone means that you intentionally spend time alone whenever you need to reflect and reset. And you're doing this for your well being. When you start spending more time with yourself and sitting with your own thoughts and feelings, this can really help you to improve your relationships as well, because you would be clear on what you can tolerate and what not, and on what you want to see more in your life and what you don't want to see more of. This can truly help you strengthen your relationships. Unfortunately, many people stay around the wrong people. They hang around with people who bully them, who torture them, who call them names, who constantly put them down. And they're willing to accept all of that because they're afraid of being alone and having to find new friends. Is it that scary though? I had situations in my life where I was completely alone. Whenever I was moving to a new country, whenever I was changing jobs, for example, and I was single, I found myself completely alone. And at first it was uncomfortable. I didn't feel good about it. But I learned to appreciate these times when I was alone, because that gave me the opportunity to get to know myself better. And that gave me the space to reconnect with myself and to find new friends, to start new relationships, if you wish. Because I couldn't afford turning back to old friends or old friendships which were already dead. You know, at some point, I kept looking for my old friends. I kept looking for an ex boyfriend to support me, to be there for me, to tell me that everything is all right. But I've realized that this way I was wasting my time, I was wasting my energy, because I was turning to people who didn't care for me anymore. Our friendships, our relationships were dead. You cannot keep nurturing something which is already gone. It is gone. It is good to embrace spending time alone, darling, because you can gain so much from being by yourself. But I'm not gonna go in details about this. We can discuss this in another video. But trust me, being alone might be the reset that you need right now, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. You may just need to distance yourself from the people around you, from your friends, from your partner, from your family. I know that oftentimes we do things just because others want us to, just because we want to fit in, just because we want to be accepted and liked. But whenever these things don't align with our values, we don't have to do them. We can just isolate ourselves a bit and become more picky with the people we surround ourselves with. Get to know yourself. Get clear on what you want out of life. Be your own best friend. Always remember that when others are not there for you, you are there for you. Be there for you. Because you have your best interest at heart, darlings, even when others don't. Even when others don't support you, you can support yourself. There is nothing wrong, there's nothing bad in spending time alone, in being alone for a while. You don't have to have a bunch of friends to be happy. I used to think that, I was wasting so much energy and time making myself available for different people. But I've got to realize that many of these people did not appreciate what I was doing for them. They were not appreciating my presence and my time. And I had to distance myself if I wanted to protect my space and my energy. Not everybody deserves you. You gotta remember that. In the times when you find yourself alone, in the times when you find yourself a little bit lonely, are the times when you can truly reflect on your relationships. You can truly analyze who is your friend and who is not. You can truly see your relationship from another angle. You can see the bigger picture. Whether people are your supporters or not really. Whether you want to continue allowing certain things to happen in your life or you've got enough and you better let it go. Because some friendships, some relationships, we're better off without. Some people come into our lives for a season. Some people come into our lives just for the taking. Some people are not there to support you. Some people are there to teach you lessons. And it's up to you whether you're going to learn from that lesson or you're going to keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So you better spend time alone and reflect on your life and on the people you surround yourself with. There's nothing wrong in being alone for a while, in appreciating your own space and your own energy. And then when you have recharged, when you have the power and the need to interact with others, you're gonna interact with the right ones. You're gonna interact with the right people. You're gonna build healthier relationships. Give yourself that break. Maybe you need it. Maybe you need some me time in order to make space and time for better relationships to come into your life. Thank you for watching. I really hope that this video inspires you to embrace the power of solitude. Let me know in the comments if you have experienced the power of alone time and how it has changed you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.